Hi, my name is Jackie Murray with Ask a Tech Teacher. I'm your guide through these 32 lessons in the Structured Learning Technology curriculum. We're in fifth grade right now, and this is lesson 10 on digital citizenship. This is one of those lessons that can be spread out throughout the year. You could spend 45 minutes in a class on it, but you still need to address it every time the students go into the digital world and cover bits and pieces. There's a lot of pieces for fifth graders. So you probably, if you got through it in one lesson, students would glaze over and fall asleep because it would be too much narrative. So this is a really good one to apply authentically as students are in a project that addresses one of the topics you're going to talk about. I've highlighted a couple here. I'm not sure students would know the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. That's a good one, or spam. Here's your essential question and big idea. Your assessment strategies are pretty much if they're a good digital citizen. We have a lot of the same ones we've been using throughout to assess their technology skills, but also emailed appropriate message to you, used good keyboarding habits. So they're kind of standard. They're kind of very similar to other lessons. Okay, you might be working on the evidence board. You might be talking about homework being due. You might be finishing up the problem solving board. Okay, digital citizenship has a lot of topics for fifth graders, a whole lot. Here's the long list. But start with a general discussion of what they remember from prior years with digital citizenship. You've talked about it every single year if you've been following this structured learning curriculum. So what do they remember? You could go through these topics one at a time and ask them, or you could just say in general terms. So there is an in-depth digital citizenship curriculum you could look at. This is kind of one that you will cover as though it was part of the fifth graders' overarching curriculum. Okay, here's your topics, and down below in the lesson we cover each topic. You have it, what is it, a couple of videos to deal with the topic, and then a discussion of it. So that's pretty much how they're all covered. If you come to one that you don't think there's enough background on, or you can't find it by going to YouTube and looking for discussion, please add that to the discussion forum and I'll address it. I have tons of resources on Ask a Tech Teacher, under K-8 websites, under teacher resources, under apps. There's lots of places you can go to find resources to teach about digital citizenship. So I'm not going to go into detail on any of these because you probably know them all from prior years. I'm going through them as I'm paging. This is a nice chart to put on the wall in your classroom, and that way mark it off when students finish it. This covers all the topics in that long list. So just put their fifth grade teacher name or however you identify the class right on the line that they finished, and that'll proudly show what they've covered in the class on digital citizenship. Very useful not only for students, but for other colleagues in school, for parents, and for your administrators. If you're using Twitter, have the students tweet out or add a comment to a class blog if you don't have Twitter about how that student stays safe online. Okay, I don't think, I know I've got a couple articles you can look at, and I think that's probably about it. I don't think there's anything extra in the student part. All right, guys, excellent. I look forward to hearing from you on the discussion board, and have a great week. Bye.